I'd like to give honor and tribute to one of the most inspiring, courageous, and faith-filled women that I know, my grandmother, Ivy Elaine Nashman. A woman who not only has been a success in business and real estate, but is also a woman who's been married for over 57 years and successful in raising a family of 2 sons and 4 grandchildren who continue to love and honor her to this day. My grandma was married at the age of 17 and had her first child at the age of 18. She was a small-town girl from British Columbia, Canada, who met my grandfather, a milkman at the time who had the charisma and style like that of Dean Martin, with his red convertible and good looks. My grandma fell in love hard and fast, and the two were married soon after. The two started off with small beginnings, but became successful in business over the decades to come. My grandma came from a small town in humble beginnings, but did not let the constraints of small-town life or the busyness of a family stop her from becoming a very successful woman in business. At the age of 22, my grandma discovered a company in the 60s called Tupperware, a company that would later become a multi-million-dollar company. Without a driver's license, my grandma began hosting Tupperware parties at her house with her friends. She says she didn't really know what to do, so after the party, she would tell everyone to line up, and with her date book in hand, she would proceed to book Tupperware parties for everyone that was there. Her drive and motivation and love for people are what helped her career in sales skyrocket. My grandfather would drive my grandma to her Tupperware parties and would care for their 2 children. He drove her until she became so successful in sales that the company awarded her with a brand new car. It was then, at 24 years of age, behind the wheel of her shiny new car, that she learned how to drive. A few years later, my grandma became the regional director of sales for Tupperware in the region, and my grandfather left his job as a milkman to be the operations manager for the company. My grandparents' success led them to buy 2 commercial properties on the main street where I'm from in Calgary to house their Tupperware. Today, they still own the property, and it's worth considerably more than what they bought it for in the 60s. At age 50, Grandma retired from the Tupperware business, and a few years later started selling fashion watches at a local flea market in Calgary, simply because she was bored. Even in retirement, she couldn't let go of the inner saleswoman inside of her, and so for 10 years, she sold watches as a hobby. My grandma, a classy lady, taught me to appreciate nice things, including diamonds, a girl's best friend. Growing up, she had a diamond ring for every finger except for her thumbs, and would frequently let me play with them and wear them for fun. She also had the largest collection of Royal Doulton dolls that are made of fine china. At 3 years old, she would let me play with them on the kitchen table as if they were any normal doll. Though success was the fruit of my grandma's drive and hard work, she always taught me that wealth will not buy you happiness, and even the nicest things in life, like diamonds, are just things. When something would break as a child, my grandma would always say to me, "It's okay, Candace, it's only a thing." My grandma has taught me the value of relationships, and most of all, the importance of putting God first in all that you do, and recognizing any blessing as a gift from Him. I am so thankful for my grandma, a woman of success and class, but also a woman of great faith. For decades, she has spent every hour before she goes to bed reading her Bible and in prayer. It's normal for her, and she frequently will tell me what she learned from reading her Bible and tell me that she spent a little extra time on her knees for me praying. In times of great crisis or heartbreak, Grandma is always the one encouraging me to put my faith in God and to trust that God is ultimately in control and that His timing is always best. She has seen me through the highs and lows of my life, and in the deepest of valleys, it has been my grandma that has encouraged me and spoken truth in the face of lies and wiped away my tears when all I felt was sorrow and pain. She has always been the voice in my life telling me that the sky's the limit and that with God, nothing is impossible. Grandma is known in our family as being the rock, the glue that holds everyone together. She is most definitely the most stable and unwavering person in our family. She listens with her ears and her heart and gives timely advice and wisdom when it's most needed. My grandma, though 75 years old, is one of my most trusted friends and is more like a mother to me than a grandmother. It may seem like this amazing woman can't get any more amazing, But the truth is, she's not only a woman who experienced great success in the business world, she's also one incredible cook. Grandma's house was always known for being the place to go eat, and if I had a choice to go to a nice restaurant or eat at Grandma's house, I would choose her house and her cooking every time. No one makes a comforting meal quite like Grandma, whose meals always consist of some type of meat with potatoes, my favorite being mashed potatoes, and some type of vegetable. No one ever goes hungry at Grandma's house. She will feed you until your heart is content, or your stomach cannot possibly contain one more bite. Dessert is always offered, or at times forced upon you, and it's nearly impossible to resist when she makes pies, squares, and cookies frequently that are always from scratch. Any kind of cooking that originates from a box is almost unheard of in her house. Grandma is 75, but you would never know it. She continually tells me that age is just a number. She has consistently walked for a minimum of 30 minutes a day for decades, and can even still play basketball if you challenge her to a game of horse. She doesn't let anyone or anything stop her. She has a wit and a zest for life, unlike anyone that I know. I am truly thankful to God for blessing me with such an incredible and inspiring woman as my grandmother. She provokes and inspires me to love God with my whole heart, to use my giftings and talents for the sake of others, and to work hard to make things happen, and to love my family well. She encourages me and inspires me to be the best that I can be, and to look classy while doing it.